Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive into another mystery.
Always.
Today, we're looking into the Oracle of Delphi.
Ah, fascinating.
We're going by this book, The
Um,
Oracle, Ancient Delphi and the Science That Reveals an Enduring Mystery,
Why?
William J. Broad.
Right.
And, the Oracle of Delphi was a super influential figure in ancient Greece.
Oh, yeah. Incredibly so.
But the big question, the one we'll be trying to answer today, is was she really communicating with the divine?
Yeah.
Or was there something else going on?
It's a question that has puzzled people for centuries.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. The oracle served as the high priestess of Apollo,
Right.
and she held a level of influence that is almost unimaginable today.
Yeah, no one really compares these days.
Leaders, philosophers, ordinary people, they all came to Delphi
Right.
to seek her guidance on everything,
Everything.
from personal matters to matters of state.
Wow.
Her words could literally shape the course of history.
That's incredible.
It really is.
So how did she do it? What made her pronouncements so powerful?
Well, the ancient Greeks believed the source of her pronouncements
Okay.
was this mysterious pneuma. Yeah, a spirit, breath, wind, something like that.
Hmm.
It was said to emanate from a chasm beneath the temple.
Right. Right.
So the oracle would inhale this pneuma,
Okay.
enter this trance-like state,
Okay.
and then speak the words of Apollo.
A direct line to the gods.
That's what they believe.
Everyone believed that, right?
Pretty much.
But then there's this twist.
Oh.
Archaeologists excavated the temple
When was this?
late 19th century,
Oh, wow.
and they couldn't find any evidence of a chasm.
So what? The earth just swallowed it up.
It's like it vanished into thin air.
That's strange.
It is.
So people started questioning if this pneuma even existed, or if
Right.
it was just, an ancient myth.
Okay, so we have a mystery.
We do.
Where do we go from here?
Well, this is where things take an interesting turn. A geologist named Gel Zelinga de Boer enters the picture.
Okay.
He was fascinated by the whole Delphi enigma,
Right.
and he had this idea that maybe, just maybe,
Mm.
geology had something to do with it.
Geology.
Yeah, he knew the region was prone to earthquakes
Oh, right.
and had these unique geological formations.
Okay, so instead of a mystical chasm, he's thinking, what? Leaky gas pipes?
Not quite.
Okay.
De Boer was working with an archaeologist named John R. Hale,
Right.
and together they actually found evidence of faults,
Faults.
like cracks in the Earth's crust,
Beneath the temple.
right underneath it.
Oh.
And they also found travertine.
Travertine.
Yeah, it's a type of rock that forms from mineral deposits.
From like flowing water.
Exactly.
So this suggests there was water flowing beneath the temple
At some point, yeah.
and potentially releasing gases from those faults.
That's what they thought.
Okay, I see where this is going.
Do you?
They thought these gases might be the source of the legendary pneuma.
Right.
But what kind of gases?
Ah, that's the next piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
They brought in a geochemist named Jeffrey P. Chanton,
Okay.
and they started analyzing rock and water samples from Delphi.
Okay.
They also looked at samples from Zakynthos,
Zakynthos.
the Greek island.
It's known for its beaches, right?
Yeah, beautiful beaches.
So what's Zakynthos got to do with Delphi?
Well, it turns out Zakynthos has similar geology to Delphi.
Oh, I see.
Specifically, they were interested in Kerry Beach.
Haven't been there.
There's this area where tar actually oozes onto the sand.
Tar. Like road tar?
Kind of, but natural.
Chains.
It is, but for the scientists,
Yeah.
it was a treasure trove of information.
Okay, so what did they find when they analyzed the samples?
Well, they found something pretty unexpected.
Oh.
Traces of light hydrocarbon gases.
Like natural gas.
Similar, yeah.
Interesting.
And some of these gases, especially one called ethylene,
Mhm.
are known to have intoxicating effects.
Wait a minute. Intoxicating gases.
You got it.
Is this where the story gets really wild?
You could say that.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So they started digging into old medical literature.
Medical literature.
Yeah, from the early 20th century.
Oh, wow.
And they found that ethylene was actually used as an anesthetic back then.
Ethylene. The same gas they found in Delphi?
The one and only.
That's crazy.
And get this.
What?
The old medical texts describe the effects of ethylene as, well, inducing euphoria, trance-like states,
Hold on.
even altered consciousness.
That sounds exactly like descriptions of the oracle's trance.
Doesn't it?
It's
It's uncanny.
So they started to think, maybe, just maybe.
The ethylene was the key to the whole mystery.
Exactly.
The oracle's pronouncement.
Trance-like state, everything.
But they needed proof.
Of course.
So what did they do?
Well, they decided to conduct an experiment.
An experiment.
They brought in Henry A. Spiller,
Who's that?
a toxicologist.
So someone who understands how gases affect the body,
Exactly.
and they needed a volunteer, someone brave enough to inhale ethylene.
In a controlled setting, I hope.
Of course, safety first.
So who volunteered?
A woman named Maureen Capshew.
Oh.
Now, they were very careful.
Yeah.
They control the concentration of the gas very precisely.
To make sure it was safe.
Exactly.
So what happened? Did she start, channeling Apollo?
Haha. Not quite.
Okay.
But what they observed was still remarkable.
What do you mean?
Even at low concentrations, the ethylene caused noticeable changes in her mental state.
Oh, wow.
And these changes were very similar
To what?
to the ancient descriptions of the oracle's behavior.
So are we saying the oracle was basically high on ancient natural gas?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
I figured.
While the ethylene discovery is a compelling explanation.
For her trance-like state?
Yes, but it's just one piece of a much larger puzzle.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What else do we need to consider?
We need to think about the context,
The context.
the social and political context.
Oh, right.
Even if she was experiencing the effects of these gases,
Yeah.
the oracle was still a highly respected figure.
Right.
Her pronouncements carried weight because people believed in her wisdom.
And her connection to the divine.
Exactly. It wasn't just about the gases
It was about the belief system.
and the cultural context surrounding the oracle.
Right. It wasn't just about getting high. It was about...
The whole package.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the question of interpretation.
Interpretation.
Remember, the oracle's pronouncements were often cryptic.
Right.
The priests at Delphi,
Yeah.
they played a key role in interpreting her words.
Shaping them to fit the political climate.
Exactly. So it was a complex interplay of factors.
The gases, the belief system, the politics.
It's like a real-life historical thriller.
It really is.
It makes you wonder,
What?
if this is the whole story,
Right.
could there be other factors at play?
Like what?
Things that science can't fully explain.
Now you've got me hooked.
I thought you might.
We'll have to delve deeper into that next time.
I'm looking forward to it.
But for now, let's just take a moment to absorb all of this.
Yeah,
We've uncovered a fascinating scientific explanation for the oracle's trance.
we have.
But we've also only just begun to scratch the surface
Oh, there's much more to explore.
of the historical and cultural forces that shaped her legacy.
Absolutely.
It's a reminder that even straightforward scientific discoveries can lead to...
More questions than answers.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
I think so.
There's always more to learn, more to uncover.
Always another layer to peel back.
Precisely.
It's exciting.
It is.
Well, until next time, keep those minds wondering.
I will.
Okay, so we've established that ethylene, this intoxicating gas, likely played a role in the oracle's trance-like state. But let's not forget, she wasn't just some oracle in a cave. The Oracle of Delphi held a position of immense social and political power.
Oh, absolutely. The oracle wasn't just some passive medium. She played an active role in shaping the course of ancient Greek history.
Right.
Her pronouncements were sought after by leaders, generals, and even philosophers.
They saw her as a conduit to divine wisdom.
Exactly.
So how did this all play out in practice? Can you give me a concrete example of the oracle's influence on actual historical events?
Well, one of the most compelling examples is the oracle's role in the Persian Wars.
Okay.
Imagine the scene. The mighty Persian Empire, led by King Xerxes, is invading Greece. The Athenians are facing what seems like an insurmountable foe.
Yeah, talk about high stakes.
They turn to the oracle for guidance, desperate for any advantage.
What did the oracle say?
Her pronouncements, as always, were a bit cryptic. But the priests at Delphi, those masters of interpretation, advised the Athenians to rely on their wooden walls.
Wooden walls. That sounds awfully vague for a life or death situation.
Right. But some Athenian leaders interpreted this as a sign to invest in their navy, to make their ships their wooden walls.
Oh,
And
interesting.
that's exactly what they did.
And that decision, influenced by the oracle's words, ultimately led to the Athenian victory at the Battle of Salamis.
Precisely. It was a turning point in the war. A victory that helped preserve Greek independence and, arguably, shaped the course of Western civilization.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible to think that the oracle, possibly under the influence of ethylene, might have inadvertently contributed to such a pivotal moment in history. But it makes you wonder, how much of this was divine inspiration versus calculated strategy?
That's the million drachma question, isn't it?
Right.
It's impossible to say for sure. But what we can say is that the oracle didn't operate in a vacuum.
Right.
The priests at Delphi were shrewd political players. They knew how to interpret the oracle's pronouncements to align with their own interests and the political climate of the time.
So it wasn't just about channeling the gods, it was about wielding power and influence in a very human world.
Exactly. It was a complex dance between faith, politics, and yes, possibly those mind-altering gases.
Right. But let's be honest, not every pronouncement led to a glorious victory. The oracle wasn't infallible, right?
Absolutely not. There were times when her pronouncements were misinterpreted, sometimes with disastrous consequences.
Oh, I see.
Take, for instance, the Athenian siege of Syracuse during the Peloponnesian War. The Athenian generals, confident in their interpretation of the oracle's advice, led their forces into a devastating defeat.
That's a stark reminder that interpreting prophecy, even when potentially influenced by intoxicating gases, is anything but a sure thing.
Exactly, and it underscores the human element in all of this. The oracle wasn't some infallible machine spitting out divine truths.
Yeah.
She was a person working within a complex social and political system, subject to the same human fallibility as anyone else.
And eventually, even the oracle's influence waned. As the Roman Empire rose to power, Delphi's importance diminished, and the oracle's pronouncements eventually ceased.
Right.
It's almost as if her fate was tied to the fate of ancient Greece itself.
It's a poignant reminder that even the most powerful figures and institutions are subject to the tides of history.
That's true.
But even though the Oracle of Delphi is long gone, her story continues to fascinate us, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It makes you wonder, are there other unexplained phenomena out there? Things we attribute to the supernatural or the divine that might have similarly natural explanations?
It's a tantalizing question. Maybe there are more oracles out there waiting to be demystified by science. Or maybe, just maybe, some mysteries are best left unsolved. Either way, it's clear that the oracle story isn't just about ancient history. It's a story that continues to resonate with us today, prompting us to question the nature of belief, the power of interpretation, and the limits of our own understanding.
You know, it's wild. We've really gone deep with this.
We have.
Learned about the ethylene, the politics around the oracle, the historical impact, all of it.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
But I gotta say,
Got that.
there's still this part of me that's kind of drawn to the mystery of it all.
I get it.
Like, even knowing the science,
Yeah,
I still want to believe in something, I don't know.
something more.
Yeah, something beyond the rational explanation.
I think that's very human, you know?
Is it?
Yeah, even with all the evidence, we crave that sense of wonder,
Makes sense.
that desire to believe in something bigger than ourselves.
Right, right.
The oracle's story really speaks to that,
It does.
that need for the mystical.
The unexplainable.
Exactly.
And it's like, knowing about the ethylene, it doesn't take away from the power of her story.
Not at all.
If anything,
Yeah.
it makes it even more intriguing.
How so?
Well, it's like, what else is going on?
You mean beneath the surface?
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
I see what you mean.
It opens up new questions.
Right.
So instead of just saying, science debunk the myth,
Yeah.
it's more like,
More like what?
we're looking at this complex dance between science, belief, and the human experience.
That's a great way to put it.
It's all connected.
Absolutely.
And it raises some pretty mind-blowing questions.
Like what?
Did the ethylene just cause the trance?
Right.
Or did it actually enhance her intuition?
Intriguing question.
Did it help her tap into, I don't know,
What are you thinking?
like a deeper level of understanding?
Maybe a connection to something beyond the ordinary.
Exactly.
Makes you think about the nature of consciousness itself.
It does.
How much of what we perceive, what we think,
Yeah.
it's all shaped by our brain chemistry.
Right. And what happens when that chemistry changes?
Precisely.
Whether it's from the gases at Delphi or from meditation,
Or even,
psychedelics.
there you go.
It's all connected.
It really is.
We're still figuring out how our own minds work.
Absolutely. It's a vast, uncharted territory.
And who knows what we'll find.
The possibilities are endless.
It's exciting.
It is.
And it's funny,
What is?
even scientists, the ones focused on the rational world,
Right.
they're not immune to this pull of the unknown.
That's true.
De Boer himself, the geologist who investigated Delphi,
Yes.
he had an experience
Oh.
during World War II,
Really?
something that challenged his scientific worldview.
I'm curious what happened.
He was captured, held in a Japanese prison camp,
Mm.
and during a daring escape,
Uh-huh.
he felt like something was guiding him.
Guiding him
Yeah, an unseen hand.
like a presence.
Something he couldn't explain with science.
That's powerful.
It is.
Makes you think.
Doesn't it?
Maybe we don't need to explain everything through science.
To understand it.
Exactly.
Maybe there are some things,
Like what?
spiritual experiences, profound insights.
Things that defy a purely material explanation?
Right.
Maybe there's a whole realm of human experience
Yeah.
that science, as we know it, can't grasp.
That's a humbling thought.
It is, but also exciting.
It is.
To acknowledge our limits, but stay open to the possibilities.
To what's out there.
To the mysteries yet to be uncovered.
And that's what makes the Oracle of Delphi so fascinating.
I agree.
It's not about finding all the answers. It's about embracing the mystery, the endless possibilities
that lie at the heart of being human.
Exactly.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Well said.
We went back to ancient Greece,
Explored the mysteries of the Oracle.
and came back with more questions than answers.
And maybe that's the best part of it all.
The quest for knowledge,
The pursuit of understanding.
the endless fascination with the world around us.
And ourselves.
Exactly.